After round 8, the verdict is in. You're on AFL.com.au. My name's Matt Thompson. Brent Harvey charged with striking, Toby Greene and Dylan Addison facing suspension. We'll get to those cases in a moment. But as we welcome Match Review Panel Chairman Mark Fraser, we begin with the issue of staging, Mark. It's been put on the agenda with the Brennan Goddard case last week, and now, in an official sense, you've sent a reprimand the way of Essendon's Leroy Jetta.
Yes, we believed with the Leroy Jetta case that there was a charge to be answered, so we have cited him for staging this week.
All right, let's take a look at the details of this if we can. He can accept what is a written reprimand with an early plea. Talk us through the incident first of all, and then we'll talk about what penalties can increase to after that.
Well, from the vision you can see that Leroy kicks the goal and then he runs towards Morris. Morris comes in to make contact and there is minor contact to his chest. Leroy Jetta falls to the ground and then holds his face, and we believe that this is unsportsmanlike in nature and that he's worthy of a charge of staging. All
right, so he gets an official reprimand. What happens if it was to go further? What do the penalties increase to?
The initial one's a written reprimand, and after that, if he's cited again, it's a $1,600 fine. And
it's a controversial issue. You obviously looked at that Brennan Goddard one from last week very, very carefully, didn't you? And you've kind of put all players on notice now right across the competition that this just isn't going to be tolerated.
Yeah, the charge has been there for a couple of years now, and we believe that it affects the umpire's ability to adjudicate the contest. It can potentially incite a melee, and as I said before, it's unsportsmanlike in nature, so you don't want to see that sort of stuff on the football field.
All right, Leroy Jetta also under scrutiny for this. He has been booked for striking Dylan Greene. This has been deemed as intentional, low impact body contact. It's a one-match ban and remains at one match with a guilty plea because he has a bad record.
Yes, with this you can see that there's a small strike to the stomach there. Grimes goes to the ground. We had a medical which showed there was no significant injury at all, but we believe that a strike to the stomach like that warrants a charge.
A very active night for Essendon's Leroy Jetta. Now, by comparison, let's look at a striking charge that was cleared. North Melbourne's Scott Thompson. This was contact to Port Adelaide's Brett Ebert.
Yeah, we initially thought that this was a strike, and from the vision we could not see what had actually happened, so we had an investigation done. Both players came back. There was a blocking and a bumping sort of an action, and we believe that that was reasonable in the circumstances because the ball was quite close, so not unreasonable.
A little doubt about this one. This was a strike. North Melbourne's Brent Harvey. Reckless, this has been deemed as, though, not intentional. Low impact and high contact. This is a one-match ban, but down to a reprimand with an early plea.
Yeah, you can see Harvey's on the ground here, has the football and swings the right arm through. We believe this is reckless in nature in that he should know that if he's swinging his arm around like that and he contacts somebody, especially in the head, that it's going to be a striking charge. So he graded as striking. The medical came back clear, so was only low impact.
So you looked at reckless. Did you look at intentional for that?
We looked at intentional, but due to the player being tackled, having the ball and obviously trying to get rid of it, we thought that reckless was a reasonable decision.
Another striking charge. This is Western Bulldogs star Dylan Addison. Intentional conduct this time, medium impact body contact. This is a two-match suspension down to one match with an early guilty plea.
Yeah, this one's off ball. You can see Addison just throw the elbow back into Bennell. He goes to ground and had to be taken from the ground. He came back and played, but we believe that this was medium impact and warranted a charge intentional, medium and to the body.
Yep, you can see we zoomed that in for you to have a look and you can see the effects on the ground there. Let's turn to Toby Greene from the Greater Western Sydney Giants. He's also been booked for rough conduct. This is reckless, low impact and high contact. A two-match ban down to one with an early plea.
Yes, this was reported on the day. You can see there that Greene jumps up as Adcock's kicking it and makes high contact. It becomes reckless in nature when you jump that high, jump into the air and make a contact high to the head with a bump. And there was minimal sort of force in regards to him from a medical perspective, but we believe that there's enough force from the video evidence to warrant a charge.
All right, let's go back now to the Port Adelaide North Melbourne game. This is Port's Jackson Trengove. Frontal contact. Talk us through this one. Negligent conduct, low impact, high contact, a one-match ban, but down to a reprimand with an early plea.
Yes, here Harper has the ball and is running down the wing. He unfortunately fumbles it and it goes behind him, and Trengove comes in and we thought made clumsy contact. Basically, there was enough time for him to pull up, to put his hands down to go for the ball, but he doesn't do that and makes the frontal contact.
Do you think you could reasonably expect here that Kieran Harper was going to turn around like he did for the footy?
With where the ball went and the amount of time that was between the ball going to the ground and the contact, we thought that Trengove had enough time to pull up or at least go down for the football.
All right, we've got one more incident to look at. This is also out of this game. Lindsay Thomas from North Melbourne, an obscene gesture. Let's take a look at this. He's been hit with a $1,200 fine, down to $900 with an early plea. This isn't the regulation obscene gesture that we've been looking at over the past couple of weeks, though.
No, this gesture is still widely seen as an obscene gesture, and that's how we view it. So he's been fined for that.
And it's an example that you just don't want to set for all levels of footy, yeah?
No, and that's one of the things that we have to take into consideration. You don't want to see the kids doing that every weekend in sport, doing that to the crowd or doing that to other players or even to umpires. So the AFL doesn't look kindly on those. All
right, Mark, thanks for your time as always.
No worries, mate.
Mark Fraser with us, the chairman of the match review panel. And that is the verdict for this week. Of course, the players cited have until 11 o'clock Tuesday morning to decide if they'd like to challenge their charges at the tribunal. You'll find a full report on all the incidents here online. From all of us here at afl.com.au, thanks for watching.